What's up everyone, here is AhkTaar, welcome back on my YouTube channel. In this video I'm gonna talk about this boss from the Rock Elemental City. He is called Woods. If you want to beat this one, you need to go with a lot of poisons, because if you don't have enough poisons before he uses his ultimate, he's gonna apply a debuff on your heroes and you are gonna lose 30 to 40% of your max HP every time your heroes are gonna take a turn. So clearly, if you don't have enough dots on the boss, enough poisons, then you are gonna lose. But there is something to take into consideration. Every time he's gonna use the basic attack, he's gonna cleanse all the debuffs he has on himself and get 10% turn meta boost for every type of debuff he cleans from himself, except the poisons. On the first turn, his ultimate will be in cooldown, 2 turns. So the first turn he's gonna use the basic attack, so you don't want to inflict a lot of debuffs on him. Keep your speed reduction, etc. for the second turn. Otherwise he's almost gonna get an extra turn if you land too many debuffs on him. So the goal here is to apply, on this one, stage 70, you need to apply 10 poisons before he uses his ultimate. Otherwise, he is gonna land a deadly breath on all your heroes. It's gonna reduce the healed effect by your heroes by 90% and deducts 40% of your max HP every time you are gonna take a turn. And if your HP fall down below 20%, you are gonna be dead. So this is really important to inflict as much poisons as you can on the boss before his ultimate. On the passive, he reduces all the damage he takes if he has less than 8 layers of poisons, etc. Depending on the number of poisons you have on the boss, you are gonna take less damage, inflict more damage, etc. So you don't care finally about the passive here, because the goal is to always have 10 layers of poisons before the boss attacks you, otherwise you are dead. So this is the kind of team you can try to use here. Okay, this is another Nicholas exclusive 3. I can try to replace him by another one. Let's try with Guhana, for example, but I'm not sure that it can work. And also, I'm pretty sure that it can't work. Because Nicholas exclusive 3 is great to control waves. Here, as you can see, I have no apple on my heroes. And I have to inflict a ton of poisons on enemies, otherwise I'm gonna die. But I don't have enough speed on my heroes, so I have to increase my turn meta, inflict some poisons to lower their damage. Mavka is great in this content. Using this skill, she can reset the duration of poisons on enemies, and it is pretty useful for the boss fight. And also, she can inflict an extra poisons on enemies and lower their turn meta by 14% every time she inflicts a poison using the basic attack or the second skill, which is pretty nice. And finally, my Walter to inflict more poisons. And now I have to tank. So I took some damage, enemies have a lot of poisons on them, so let's try to inflict more on them. I'm not gonna use my skills. Let's do that to trigger the damage, and now I'm gonna cleanse and heal. Mavka is great for that because she can cleanse the poisons you have on your heroes, and it is really helpful in this rotation. So now I'm gonna use this from Walter, and let's hope I don't remove the poisons on enemies, because when he triggers, he has a 20% risk. He has some risk. Okay, I'm not full skilled up with my Walter, otherwise I would have 100% chance to not reduce the duration of poisons on the targets. But here, if I'm not lucky enough, I'm gonna remove the poisons. Okay, I was lucky enough. But enemies don't have any poisons anymore, so I'm gonna take a lot of damage now. And I don't have my cleans, so I'm gonna die. Pretty sure that I'm gonna die at my turn. Anita exclusive 3 would help a lot, because at every turn she takes, she inflicts a poison on enemies. Nita exclusive 2, sorry, Nita exclusive 2. But here, I cleared it using the Nita of one of my guildmates. So let me show you that this is the run. The team I used to beat the stage. So here, as you can see, I have Mavka. My Walter was without exclusive. I used Anita exclusive 3 from one of my guildmates, Ben Austin, in order to apply more poisons, and Nicholas to help me control waves and survive with the apple, because this Nita wasn't really tanky, only 300k HP and a 25k defense, so this is not a huge Nita, but she applies a lot of poisons and I needed that here. So this is how I passed it. Inflict a lot of poisons on enemies, reset the duration of poisons using my Mavka. Walter exclusive 1 is great here because he lowers the direct damage dealt by enemies by 20% when they have a poison on them. So it helps you a lot to survive during these fights. So let's repeat the same. Try to freeze the Scorpio and the dog, but it didn't proc on the dog. So let's inflict more poisons and let's try to tank the attacks. And repeat until the end of the wave. So don't use your shields when the Scorpios are not controlled, otherwise they are gonna pursue you, and if you have some poisons on your heroes, they are gonna trigger the damage of the poisons and you are gonna die. Perfect. So now they take a lot of damage. Yeah, it's subjective. It's not a lot of damage because they have this buff right here, which is pretty annoying. It reduces a lot the damage they take, but still. Now they are gonna take more damage. And this is not the best Nita in the game, so yeah, the poison or damage are pretty correct. Okay, the wave is almost over. So you're gonna see that the boss, if you don't have enough poisons on him, you can't win. You can't win. So only the dog remaining. Perfect. 8 poisons, so he takes a lot of damage. Maybe on next turn he's gonna die. So let me accelerate it just a bit. Okay, this is the boss wave. So here I'm gonna use the pursuit of my Ben Austin, but look at that. 1, 2 debuffs on the boss. So he's gonna take 20% turn meter at his turn. This is not a big deal. So here I prefer using the second skill. Okay, I can tank one attack of the Scorpio, so it's not a big deal, a big threat. So I have the speed buff on my heroes, but the boss didn't have the speed reduction on him, so I'm gonna inflict the speed reduction now so I have more time to inflict dots on him. Normally. 10 bleeds, 10 poisons, so now I won't take the debuffs. And so I can survive. So deep poisoning 2. Now he's taking some damage. And now the goal is just to survive and to cycle my dots. It's gonna take a lot of time, a lot of turns, but it works. I'm not taking a lot of damage because enemies have poisons on them. And yeah, this is a great combo. I mean, Mavka with Ben Austin helps to reduce a lot the turn meta of a single target unit. He doesn't hit that hard when he has a lot of poisons on him. And at this moment, with 10 poisons, he deals 30% less damage, and with the first exclusive on Walter, he deals an extra 20 less percent damage on my heroes, which is pretty huge. So 50% less damage on my heroes, so now I'm pretty safe using this kind of team. Here, some people used Turf in order to beat him because with the basic attack he can apply 2 poisons on a single target unit. So using Turf and Ben Austin you can inflict a lot of poisons on the boss. This is pretty nice. If you have Taff, he can be better than Mavka. He can do the same, reset the duration of poisons. He can apply poisons in AoE using the basic attack at the beginning of the wave, so it helps a lot too. Okay, so the dog is dead and the Scorpio is gonna die at his turn. So now it's just a matter of time. Yeah, look at that. Look at the waste. 50% turn meta because he had 5 layers of debuffs on him. 5 different types of debuffs. And so he is close to have his ultimate, so be careful when you are using your debuffs. So he has 10 poison, so I'm safe. He won't inflict the debuffs on my heroes. Almost 50%, 53% HP remaining, so let me accelerate the run just a bit so you can see that I can survive, etc. One more time, he had 10 layers of poisons before using his ultimate, so I am safe with my heroes. I'm still doing the same during the entire fight. So this strategy takes a lot of turns, as you can see here, 244. The fight is almost over, but I'm close to the limit though. Okay, 248 turns. And it is done. It is done. So this is the way to beat this boss. I hope you enjoyed this video. If it's the case, as usual, please like, comment and subscribe, and then see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Infinite Magicraid. Play to slay.